Hi everyone, this is a review of the new ScentSationals Christmas Holiday 2022 wax melts from Walmart. I've actually combined two different collections in this video, what I call the red label collection and the black label collection. So the red label scents are already at most Walmart stores as of the date of this review, which is, what is today's date? I think it's October 23rd. In the store, they can usually be found in one of the wax bins in the middle of one of the large home goods aisles. And as of today, the black label scents have not yet arrived in stores and are not online either. So I expect that those will probably start showing up within the next few weeks. I don't know if all of the new ScentSationals wax melts will feature the black label design going forward, or if it's just, a holiday special. That I just don't know. If you've never seen my reviews before, I don't actually look at the scent notes until I've finished the review because I don't want to be swayed by what I think the scent should smell like. So I will start with buttered maple. And the notes, let me move this over a little bit. There we go. The notes are orange, butter, rum, and cloves. This rich maple syrup blend is masterfully layered and deliciously decadent. Top notes of fresh popped kettle corn and sweet almond. Middle notes of buttery maple and creamy caramel. And bottom notes of sugary vanilla. This is a super yummy scent that smells like warm pancakes with rich, slightly salty butter and just a hint of maple syrup. I can actually smell the bready note of the pancakes. It's not quite as mapley as the name would suggest. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting any orange or almond, but kettle corn, yes, I think I'm getting that, and it's probably what makes this smell like pancakes. I'm fairly certain it's the same scent as ScentSationals Fusion Warm Maple Butter and also Oak and Rye Pure Maple Butter, which are the same scents. And the wax is exactly the same tone of beige. When I sniff them side by side, though, I really can't tell the difference despite the different scent notes. The notes for the warm maple butter and pure maple butter are sticky drops of Vermont maple and deep powdery honey blended with buttery vanilla. The only reason why I think it might not be the same scent is that the throw for the warm maple butter and the pure maple butter is bold, like a 5 out of 5. The throw for this scent is strong. It's more like a 3.5 out of 5. So it would do well in a medium to a large size room. So whether it is the same as that other scent or not, again, I can't tell the difference. I really don't know. I think it's the same scent, but I could be wrong. It's a fantastic scent either way. So next we have candy cane ice cream. And this scent is so good. Oh my gosh. Notes are a cheerful combination of thin, crispy cookie pastry embellished with crushed peppermint morsels, soft white chocolate, and sweet sugar sprinkles. Now, another set of notes that I think I found, but they're only, they're kind of incomplete, is whipped butter, crushed candy cane pieces, and caramelized sugar. So I'm not sure. I think the first set of notes is correct. This might be one of the best chocolate scents I've ever smelled. It smells like a thick, creamy, milky, dark chocolate milkshake or mousse that's so rich it almost has like a creme fraiche note. The peppermint is very, very subtle and barely noticeable. So if you're not a fan of candy cane or peppermint scents, but you do like chocolate scents, then you're really going to like this scent because that peppermint note is super, super subtle. I adore this incredibly yummy scent. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting any pastry or bakery notes whatsoever. And this scent is super chocolatey, much more chocolatey than just white chocolate. Now, as a comparison, Walmart also has, or will have very soon, a new Better Homes and Gardens scent, and I don't have this with me right now, called Candy Cane and Cream. A little bit different name. which is totally different from this scent. So that scent, the Better Homes and Gardens Candy Cane and Cream, that one is very pepperminty, has less chocolate, and also has a hint of cherry, like a chocolate peppermint patty drizzled with a tiny bit of cherry syrup. I love both scents. Now this scent is also similar to the older Better Homes and Gardens Creamy Marshmallow Cocoa, but this scent is much richer, more chocolatey, milkier, and with that creme fraiche note that the Creamy Marshmallow Cocoa scent doesn't have. Sniffing them side by side, I do notice the peppermint in this scent that is not in the Creamy Marshmallow Cocoa scent. So again, fantastic scent. Throw is bold, 5 out of 5. This one took over the entire room, the entire house. If you like rich chocolate scents, you're going to adore this one. And it's not like a burnt, stinky chocolate. It's not that type of a chocolate at all. It's just incredible. That's all I can say. Next is cereal cake. Notes are, description is homemade white cake swirled with tropical mango and sun-ripened raspberry, sweetened with pure sugar cane and layers of creamy vanilla frosting. Top notes of whipped cream and mango, middle notes of raspberry and vanilla, and bottom notes of sugar cane and fruit syrup. This is an insanely good scent that smells like raspberry ice cream, mousse, or creme fraiche. There's that creme fraiche again, with a hint of strawberry. I'm also getting a strong yellow cake note that kind of makes it smell like strawberry shortcake, but with lots of whipped cream. This is almost like the berry version of the candy cane ice cream scent that I just reviewed. And it actually does smell a little bit like that scent because of that creamy mousse, very slight sour cream, in a good way, type note. And I think if you blend the cereal cake with that candy cream ice cream, oh my God, I think it would be absolutely divine. You would get that extra rich, milky note, the chocolate with a little bit of the strawberry and the raspberry. Oh my God, it would be insanely good. Looking at the notes for this, I'm not getting mango or any tropical fruit notes at all. So if you see that mango note and you're like, oh, I'm not a fan of mango or tropical fruits or peach or anything like that, no, there is like absolutely none of that in this. No, and I'm sniffing it again, and I'm not getting any mango. So the throw on this one is very strong, like a 4 out of 5 would do well in a large room and maybe outside the room. Next we have Christmas Tree. And description is, okay, no description. Oh, notes are fresh cut balsam fir, frosted freesia, and Italian cypress enhanced with citrus splash sage, ambered birchwood, a touch of crisp winter holly, and wild thyme. Top notes of citrus and green, middle notes of sage and balsam, bottom notes of herbal, birch, and balsam. It's a very nice, rich, slightly salty, slightly smoky pine, spruce type scent with eucalyptus, a tiny bit of sage, and maybe a smidgen of citrus way in the background. It's super strong on cold sniff, so I expected the throw to be bold. Throw is still strong, 3.5 out of 5, would do well in a medium to a large size room. Although, like I said, not quite as strong as most pine type scents tend to be. Next is Cranberry Orange. God, they've got some great scents. This, I'll tell you what, Rimports has really outdone themselves this year with this collection because these scents are so good. Cranberry Orange. Baked orange fruit and spiced cranberry gleam with irresistible is misspelled. So I'm just going to leave it misspelled just because that's how it's showing up on the Walmart website. With irresistible hints of warm all-butter pastry. Top notes of citrus, orange, and berry. Middle notes of cranberry, butter, and vanilla. And bottom notes of cranberry, cake batter, and sweet. Sweet what? I don't know, but just sweet. Fantastic, scrumptious scent that smells like raspberry bread, if that existed. It's rich and sweet, and I'm also getting a little bit of cranberry, but without any bitter or sour notes. It's a totally different scent from the oak and rye raspberry Linzer cookie, which is also raspberry, but that scent is much sweeter and fruitier and doesn't have any bready notes. I do get a hint of orange on this one on cold sniff, but not really when melting. And the throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. So another fantastic scent. Next we have Eucalyptus Wreath. Notes are earthy moss, precious oud wood, and crushed vetiver, joined by balsamic amber amid sparkling touches of fresh picked peppermint, green garden mint, and aquatic spearmint. I'm getting pine and herbal note like sage, eucalyptus but without the sinus clearing effect, but with a little bit of softness and a smidgen of sweetness that keeps it from being as harsh as most pine and eucalyptus type scents. It's actually quite nice. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting oud or any type of mint. And the throw is medium, like a 3 out of 5 would do well in a small to medium-sized room. So again, not quite as strong as most of these types of scents are, but if you like these types of scents, but they tend to be a little bit too strong for you, then that one might actually be a good one. It's not quite as strong as a lot of the others. Farmhouse Plaid. Nice deep red. And the notes are citrus orange peel, harvest berries, outdoor greens, and shimmers of solar musk, blanketing coniferous fir wrapped with soft cotton aldehydes, cashmere amber, and mossy woods. This is a very nice, rich, sweet, slightly salty scent of mahogany with a hint of smoky spruce, a bit of warm amber, a smidgen of cologne, and maybe a smidgen of apple. I'm sure I've smelled it before, and yes, it's very similar to ScentSationals' Alluring. The wax is almost the same shade of maroon too. Sniffing them side by side though, they're not exactly the same, but very close. This scent is deeper than Alluring. It's richer and with a bit more mahogany and smoky and spruce notes than Alluring. So I like this scent a bit more than I do Alluring. It's also similar to Better Homes and Gardens' mahogany and sandalwood, but that scent is richer, deeper, and slightly saltier than this one, with a bit smokier spruce, while this scent is a tiny bit sweeter and has a smidgen of apple and or some other kind of fruit. It might also be similar to Better Homes and Gardens' apple and oud, which was an earthy, slightly woodsy, slightly cologne tobacco and apple scent, although I no longer have that one to compare. So all the scents that I mentioned are all kind of similar to each other. Very nice scent. Throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. Next is Frosted Birch. And the notes are aromatic birchwood, white mahogany, and crisp juniper berry shimmered with fragrant sage, touches of sparkling citrus, and smooth amber woods. Top notes of citrus, green, and herbal, middle notes of juniper, birch, and sage, and bottom notes of birch, cedarwood, and amber. This is the same scent as oak and rye white pine, which I think is also the same as Better Homes and Gardens mahogany and sandalwood with almost identical notes. It's a warm, woodsy, smoky scent with a hint of spruce and a smidgen of men's cologne. It's rich, a little salty, and a little sweet. I love this scent, and it lasted for 16 hours. Probably would have gone longer if I had not removed it from the warmer for the day. So, and the throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. Frosted Cinnamon Cookie. Now, when I see scents with this type of name, I'm thinking, okay, this is just another cinnamon bakery scent. But no, it's absolutely not. So notes are warm, flaky pastry squares filled with creamy tones of sweet vanilla-infused cheesecake batter topped with spicy cinnamon sugar, rich drizzles of pure chocolate, and tangy strawberry morsels. Again, don't let the scent name fool you into thinking this is just another cinnamon bakery scent, because it's absolutely not. It's a toothacheingly sweet scent of brown sugar, honey, molasses, raisins, a hint of fruit, which could be apple, raspberry, strawberry, not sure, just a hint of fruit, and possibly a smidgen of nuts, all drizzled with sweet vanilla buttercream. It's basically something super sweet, sticky, and incredibly delicious like mincemeat pie, but of course without any meat. Despite the scent name, I'm really not getting cinnamon, or if I am, if there's cinnamon in there, it's just very subtle. I really don't smell it. I adore this insanely yummy scent. Melted, it's so rich, it smells like all of these notes blended together in the form of fudge, with almost a tiny bit of a chocolate note. And looking at the notes, it does indeed have chocolate in it, even though I really don't smell chocolate, but it's just, it kind of has that little bit of a, like a chocolate richness. And looking at the notes, oh, there's the fruit, the strawberry. Cheesecake, I do get a tiny bit of tanginess. It's just an overall perfect, sweet, foodie type scent with all the notes balanced perfectly. This scent is absolutely hoard worthy. And then when I first smelled this, I'm like, there's something that reminds me of another scent that I've smelled. And it reminds me of ScentSationals Pie Season, even though they're not really that much alike. Though this scent is like a super toothacheingly sweet version of Pie Season, or more like the super sweet filling for the pie that Pie Season was lacking. It's like the two scents were made to be blended together to make a complete pie. You could blend this scent with any other foodie or fruity scent to make it sweeter and yummier. So you can get creative and blend it with like a woodsy scent, coffee, chocolate. And if you find it to be too sweet on its own, it would also smell fantastic mixed with milky vanilla. But if you do have Pie Season, you've got to try mixing it with that, because I think it's just going to be incredible. Or, like I said, on its own, it's fantastic. Insanely good scent. And I'm not a big fan of a lot of cinnamon bakery scents, but again, that's not at all what this is. Throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. Ho, ho, ho. This one is another fantastic scent. Like I said, fantastic scents all around. Notes are plump sugar plums, tart cranberry, juicy cherry, and candied pineapple stirred into a sweet fruit punch. Top notes of plum and cherry, middle notes of plum, cherry, and cranberry and pineapple, bottom notes of plum, cherry, and fruit. So, a lot of plum and cherry. This is an incredible, super fruity scent of cranberry and cherry fruit punch with a hint of a fizzy soda type note. It's sweet with a smidgen of tartness from the cranberry, but it has no sour or bitter notes that cranberry scents tend to have. And it contains no spice notes, no cinnamon or anything like that. If you like fruit scents, this might be the fruitiest fruit scent I've ever smelled. I adore this scent. It will also make a fantastic mixer to add a fruity note to any other type of scent like vanilla, chocolate, pine, bakery, as well as citrusy scents like lemon and orange. It's actually quite familiar, and it might be a dupe of a very, very old Rimport's holiday scent, possibly from 2014 or 2015, although I can't figure out which one. It is similar to Oak and Rye Black Cherry Chutney, another super fruity, very strong scent. But that scent has a subtle hint of cinnamon that this one does not, and it doesn't have the slight fizzy note. It's also not the same as Better Homes and Gardens Candied Mulberry Spice, which kind of has similar notes. That scent was more cranberry with a bitter note and a smidgen of spice. Looking at the notes for this scent, I don't smell pineapple, but that might be why the scent is so intensely fruity, almost to the point of being a bit harsh, but not at all in a bad way. This one is another one that's totally hoard worthy. And I'm thinking that this one would smell, this would be interesting mixed with the candy cane ice cream or the cereal cake, or mix all three of them together. The throw on this one is bold, 5 out of 5. This one takes over the entire house. So ho, ho, ho is one to definitely hoard. Heavenly. The notes are, description is lush climbing vines of brilliant passion flower twirl with heady tones of white gardenia and sweet osmanthus, joined by luminous pineapple, sugared passion fruit, and green banana leaf. Top notes of green fruit, pineapple, and passion fruit. Middle notes of passion flower, gardenia, and osmanthus, and bottom notes of floral. It's not really a holiday type scent. This is primarily a peach scent, but I'm also getting a hint of floral and possibly a smidgen of sandalwood. The peach is a milky peach like the outside of the fruit rather than the sweet, juicy insides. It's just barely sweet. Looking at the notes, there's no peach, but that is absolutely what I'm smelling. I'm definitely not getting gardenia, but pineapple, possibly way in the background. I'm not a fan of most peach scents. I don't really care for this one, and the throw was faint. A 2 out of 5. I can only smell from a few yards away, so it would only do well in a tiny to a very small room. So this one just didn't do it for me in terms of the scent or the throw. Next is Imagine, and this does not look like a holiday scent either. It looks like a summer scent. Notes are frost-covered peony and blushed magnolia sparkle with luminous bergamot, white lemon, and the sweetness of autumn fruit over earthy moss, ethereal cedar, and musk-infused amber. I'm getting lavender with a mossy note, sandalwood, and a hint of peach. It's a bit sweet, but also has a very slight salty note. I think I detect another floral as well as maybe a barely detectable smidgen of citrus like orange or lemon. Looking at the notes, there's the fruit I'm smelling, but not peach per se, and no lavender, although no lavender or peach. But I'm sure I smell lavender and peach. I'm actually going to smell it again right now. Yeah, I'm sure I do smell lavender and peach. I mean, I don't know. Now that I know it's there, I am getting a teensy bit of the magnolia as well. It's different and I kind of like, although it has a little bit of a musty note that I don't really care for. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Merry MoCA. Notes are a warming blend of freshly brewed coffee swirled with white chocolate sweetness and dark vanilla topped with cocoa-dusted whipped cream and sweet marshmallows. This is milk chocolate with a creamy, milky note and a bit of coffee, like 70% chocolate and 30% coffee. It's very similar to Better Homes and Gardens' creamy marshmallow cocoa, but this scent is slightly richer and has the hint of coffee that scent does not have. This scent is like the creamy marshmallow cocoa, with a hint of coffee added. I love this scent. Throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. And again, this would make another great mixer to mix with like the candy cane ice cream or the cereal cake or even the ho ho ho, cranberry orange. So another fantastic scent. Throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. Next is Oh So Cozy. Notes are, autumn tartan wraps your home in a cozy scent of crisp fall apple, refreshing eucalyptus, warm vetiver, and sweet amber. Top notes of golden pear, crisp fall apple, and black pepper pod. Middle notes of effervescent pine, cardamom pods, muguet petals. Bottom notes of Haitian vetiver, creamy sandalwood, Virginia cedarwood, vanilla bean, and stone moss. I'm getting mostly apple, like 85%, along with notes of sour cranberry, wood, a little bit of a mossy note, a slight hint of pine, a tiny bit of savory herbal note like sage, a tiny bit of tobacco, a smidgen of black pepper, and maybe a smidgen of eucalyptus, although I'm not getting any nasal clearing effects. I like it, although it has a little bit of a sour or vinegary note that I don't care for, although that note is subtle. Looking at the notes, they're pretty spot on, although no cranberry, so I don't know where that sourness is coming from. Throw on this one is 5. It's bold. It took over the entire house. Again, I'm not sure if it's one of my favorites, but it is a very nice scent. Next is Orange Pine. Notes are fresh effervescent lime, sparkling lemon zest, and dazzling bergamot meld with balsamic pine, wild cypress, and aromatic pine needle lifted by crushed woodland herbs. Top notes of citrus, lime, and bergamot. Middle notes of lime, balsam, pine needle. Bottom notes of balsam, fir, and herbal. It's a very nice scent of rich, slightly smoky, slightly salty pine with a bit of black pepper. On cold sniff, I'm also getting fresh and soapy notes, an herbal note like sage, and a little bit of sweetness, all of which I don't get when melting. Looking at the notes, there's no orange notes in this scent that's called orange pine, or no notes like that. But I'm not actually detecting orange either, or any lemon, lime, effervescent, or fizzy notes. So I don't know why it's called orange pine. There's a lot of lime notes in there, but I'm not getting any type of citrus at all. No lime, nothing. Maybe a smidgen of bergamot on cold sniff, which gives scents a citrusy cologne note, but not when melting. I'm not getting any cologne notes in this scent. I love this scent on cold sniff, and I like it when melted as well, but I wish it had retained the additional notes that I mentioned when melting that make it so much different than other pine scents. And although they're both pine scents, this scent is different from Better Homes and Gardens Sweet Orange and Pine. It's a totally different scent, despite the same image on the label. The Sweet Orange and Pine is a smoky spruce scent with a dirt note in a good way that makes it smell like digging up a Christmas tree, but no orange notes. That one doesn't have the fresh, slightly sweet soapiness that this scent does, and this scent does not have the dirt note that the Better Homes and Gardens Sweet Orange and Pine does. Interestingly, the notes are exactly the same, this scent, word for word as a carousel candle, cypress and citron candle, which is not made by Rimports or Sensational, that I found on Amazon. So exactly the same scent notes as a candle on Amazon.com that has nothing to do with Rimports or Sensational. So I don't know why that is. Maybe they get their scented oils from the same manufacturer, or maybe that candle just copied the scent notes. I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. The throw on this one is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Next is Pineberry Wreath. Notes are glittering hollyberry, crushed mistletoe, and evergreen garlands gathered with precious woods, balsamic pine, and white musk. Top notes of aromatic and berry. Middle notes of fir and bay. Bottom notes of evergreen and wood. I'm getting sour cranberries, pine, a savory herb like sage, and another very slightly sweet berry. I'm also getting a smidgen of spearmint or eucalyptus, but without the nasal clearing effect. But that note smells a little bit like Bengay, which sounds terrible. I hate to say that. But then I realized, okay, that very slight smidgen of Bengay is wintergreen, because Bengay does have a hint of wintergreen. A wintergreen note. Wintergreen tends to smell like a combination of licorice, spearmint, and menthol. Now, I'm not a fan of wintergreen. Thankfully, that note is very subtle, and I think most people won't notice it. But the whole scent is kind of harsh and sour and reminds me a bit of their frosted cranberry scent, which was a dupe of Better Homes and Gardens Iced Winter Cranberry. I was not a fan of that scent either, and I'm not a big fan of this one either, although I do like it a bit more than those other scents. I would probably mix it with something sweet to tone down the sourness. Yeah, it's, you know what? I do actually smell that wintergreen note, that little bit of a licorice note. The licorice and that little bit of sourness, no, I'm not a fan. Throw on this one is very strong, though, 4 out of 5. Interestingly, in the notes, there's no wintergreen, no licorice. Nothing that I could think would create that wintergreen, licoricey type note. Maybe the bay? The top notes includes aromatic and berry. I don't know what aromatic is. Maybe there's a note missing there. It's aromatic something. So it could be that that's what the missing note is. I don't know, but I don't care for this one. This one, however, soft, chewy snickerdoodles. Oh my gosh. Again, another scent that when you look at it, you're like, it's just another cookie scent with a cinnamon note. But oh no, it's totally different. And it's incredible. Notes are fried dough, warm and fresh from the food truck, wrapped in confectioner's sugar and ground cinnamon, supported by vanilla and almond extracts. top notes of ground cinnamon and almond extracts, middle notes of sage and balsam, bottom notes of herbal, birch, and balsam. Again, I'm not a fan of most cinnamony bakery scents because they all smell kind of similar to me, but this one is the most authentic cinnamon bakery scent I've ever smelled. I can't say what the exact differences are other than it smells just like real freshly baked cookies, snickerdoodles specifically. It's rich and sweet with lots of brown sugar and butter, and the cinnamon note, which is not super strong, it's not like a super strong, like a big red gum type cinnamon note. There's no nutmeg, no cloves, no ginger, no other spices. There's no nutty notes. There's no oatmeal type notes. There are no fake notes in this scent at all, and none of the fake sweetness that other similar scents tend to have. I love this scent. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting almond, but I'm sure it's somewhere in the background. I definitely don't detect any herbal, sage, savory, woodsy, or balsam pine notes whatsoever, so I have to wonder if there was some kind of an error in the scent notes, because, I mean, looking at the top, the middle, and the bottom notes, that's a lot of sage, balsam, birch, herbal, and the top notes are just ground cinnamon and almond extracts. No, there's something wrong with those notes because there's nothing like that. Nothing herbal or savory or pine or anything like that. So I don't know, but this one is fantastic. Throw is bold, 5 out of 5. Took over the entire house. So people will absolutely think that you're baking cookies in the oven when you come over. I mean, I've never smelled anything so realistic. Next we have Sparkle. I love that label. Top notes of mandarin, orange, lemon, and aldehydes. Middle notes of juicy tangerine and pineapple. Bottom notes of white musk and sugar. Description is juicy mandarin, sweet tangerine, and ripe Valencia orange blended with tangy lemon zest and juicy notes of glittering island pineapple. Again, looking at the label, it looks like a holiday scent, but the notes seem like a summer scent. If you don't like the scent on cold sniff, give it a chance, because I thought I was not going to like it on cold sniff, but melted, it's fantastic. It's rich, just a tiny bit sweet, slightly salty orange with a bit of satsuma, which is a pungent, slightly sour orangey type fruit that includes lemon and grapefruit notes. I'm also getting the lemon, a little bit of a peach note that helps to differentiate this from other orangey, lemony, citrus type scents. Or actually that peach note could be mango, which is more like a tropical type peach scent. Normally I don't care for peach, but it's an odd note in this scent that actually works, and it's very subtle. I thought I might have detected a smidgen of clove that gives us a tiny bit of a pomander vibe, but I'm not sure about that. I love this scent. Looking at the notes, what I think is peach is actually pineapple, which is why I thought it had a bit of a tropical note, although I'm not smelling pineapple per se. Fantastic scent. Throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Next is Sweet Candied Apple. And the notes are a classic caramel apple with inviting notes of gala apple, strawberry, and pineapple sugar is surrounded by raspberry sugar, creamy caramel, and vanilla bean. This smells like ScentSationals caramel apple spice, which is a combination of apple cider, rich salted caramel, molasses, and brown sugar with no cinnamon or any spice notes. My description of that scent is the same for this one. I think there are some very, very subtle differences though, but I can only tell the differences when I sniff them side by side. Like if I sniff it right now, it smells like caramel apple spice to me. Caramel apple spice is slightly richer and more caramely, and I detect a little tiny bit of cinnamon and maybe a tinge more apple in this scent than in caramel apple spice. Other than that, and the fact that caramel apple spice has a bold throw of 5 out of 5, to me, they're just so similar, almost exactly the same. Looking at the notes, I'm not getting strawberry, raspberry, or pineapple. And this is also a totally different scent from the old Better Homes and Gardens Sweet Candied Apples from 2016. Throw on this one is very strong, 4 out of 5. Another very nice scent. Next is Warm Cottage. Notes are the creamy, comforting allure of white almond essence swirled with milky santal, ambered cinnamon spice, and warm tonka enhanced with cedar-dusted vanilla and smooth bourbon richness. This is quite similar to No Place Like Home, but it's not the same scent. The No Place Like Home from last year. That came out last, I guess, November. This one smells like a combination of sandalwood, warm amber, baby powder, a hint of almond and or cardamom, a hint of alcohol like bourbon or rum, and a smidgen of vanilla, in that order. The No Place Like Home scent is baby powder with a hint of sandalwood, amber, and cinnamon, but no almond and no bourbon. This scent has no cinnamon, or maybe just a smidgen. It's not quite as sweet as No Place Like Home. I love both scents, and I love this scent, and the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Next is Winter Snow. Notes are an inviting accord featuring warm notes of amber and sandalwood, enlivened by the freshness of bergamot and crisp water accord, while creamy undertones of rose petals wrapped in vanilla adds depth and complexity. So, and let's see here, the top notes are crisp water accord, bergamot, green tea, middle notes of chambray, cotton accord, and violet leaves and rose petal and jasmine, bottom notes of amber, cottonwood, and vanilla. This is a sweet scent with a slight bitterness, which I think is rose. I'm also detecting a little bit of a laundry note, maybe an oceany water type note, and possibly a hint of sandalwood. Perhaps a smidgen of peach way in the background. This one is a bit dull and just okay for me, but a lot of other people seem to like this one. Looking at the notes, there's no peach, and there's actually no fruit of any kind. But let me take a look. I'm sure. No, I get, maybe there's no peach. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I detected a little bit of peach, but no. But it's a little bitter. I'm not, I like it. It's okay. It's not one of my favorites. Throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. And finally we have Winter Weekend. Like that picture. Notes are a medley of forest greens, herbs, and fall leaves misted with soft ozone and moss, fresh woods, and musk. Top notes of green and herbal, middle notes of herbal, ozone, and moss, and bottom notes of wood and musk. This is a sweet, soapy, fresh, slightly watery scent with musk and rose, although it's not really a floral scent, but it does have that bitter note that rose scents tend to have. On cold sniff, it's super sweet, but when melting, the bitterness gets a little stronger, but still a nice scent. Melted, it smells a little bit like ScentSationals Enchanted. I really like this one, and the throw is strong, like a 3.5 out of 5. And this one has some similarities to Winter Snow. Winter Snow and Winter Weekend, they both have that little bit of a bitter rose note, but the Winter Weekend is sweeter. Just, they're definitely not the same scent. They're both very nice. So that is it. That's the review for all the new ScentSationals Christmas Holiday 2022 wax melt scents from Walmart. And if you want to read a text version of this review, just go to waxmeltreviews.com and feel free to join our Facebook group where we discuss all different brands and scents of store-bought and retail wax melts. And you can find the link to our Facebook group underneath this video and also on our website at waxmeltreviews.com. Have a good day.